got some old parts that hang out around the house on retired guys that still come and run tours. So today, Virginia and I brought most of my yearling team I'm working with, and then for some guidance and direction, if you will, we brought some of the older guys, some of the house dogs. They're still perfectly pulling, but they just might not be in race training anymore. There's different tiers of retirement for sled dogs. This is a working breed of dog. So that means maybe if their bodies slow down and they can't do 40, 50, 60 miles at a time mentally, this dog still needs to go. It's a very active breed of dog, even if it's older. So that means that tours are a really nice kind of first tier of retirement because they still get to run, but it's a 2-mile loop and we stop and they get a break. So like this old guy like Lolo over here who will go beat in a second, they can run a mile and they're like, yeah, I'm back like my young days. And we stop after a mile and they look at that puppy next to them and they're like, whew, yeah, we really need this. We deserve this. And then we get back to the yard and they go back on their house and they're like, all right, a little nap and then I'll go run again. So we brought a little mixture of those guys today and we'll go around and meet them. But first, if you guys want, we've got two 5-month-old puppies here, Thunder and Lightning. If you guys want to step in and meet them, they're kind of at that little hellion phase, so you just wash your gloves. But they want to meet you guys. So this is really good training. This is called socialization.
Oh my God, I love
really important.
You said Thunder and Lightning?
Yep, Thunder is the big orange one, and that's the brother, and the little black girl is Lightning. And they're about 5 months old.
Lightning! Hi, baby! Oh my God, I love you. I love you!
Shy and weird. Lightning. So Lightning is the smaller one, but she did get all the brains. He took all the sides. He's kind of the big dummy. She's the small, kind of smart, shy one.
Wow, 5 months you said?
He's massive. Yeah, he's going to be a huge
Wow.
dog. She'll be a nice sized female too, but this dog's going to be like maybe too big. You never know. Sometimes they're too big, they can never figure out. Not necessarily never, but like just too big for healthy joints almost, you know?
What are their diets for them to be so big?
They eat a high performance diet. So the basics of that boiled down is high protein, higher fat, and higher caloric content than your typical dog food. Now, what that looks like, it's 1,000 different things. All mushers have their own. Mushing is like anything in life. There's 1,000 ways to do it, and 995 of them are correct. It's how you do it and how you relate with your dogs. But a really standard meal people feed is about 1.5 pounds of meat per dog. Wow. And typically you're looking at raw chicken and raw beef. And we'll defrost that out, but we still want it to be raw. So we defrost it in buckets in our houses after we get it cut up nice and small. And then we mix that with some nice warm water and a high performance dog kibble, so higher in those fat, proteins, and calorie densities. And then we'll add our supplements because like any athlete, humans as well, distance runners are kind of the best. Ultra runners are the best comparison. The physiology is 3/4 exactly the same as a sled dog. There's only 1/4 that's different. That's a lot of gut, can cause a lot of gut stress. So we add some supplements to aid that. So we're adding probiotics to have the right digestive enzymes they need, as well as psyllium, which is a fiber husk. So it's like Metamucil basically to have nice firm stools to avoid any kind of stress diarrhea that could come from running. So that's a really standard meal. Right now, early season, it's still warm out. This is warm, believe it or not. And so we're feeding a lot of what we call cook pot. So Virginia here is the queen of the cooker, and she makes a big old open fire over a huge drum, fills it with some water, about 13 to 15 fish, some rice, and our oils and fats, because we do add fat as well, so a little chicken fat and some fish oil. Hey, Lightning with the hand. And then some of that psyllium as well, and then we add a little bit of kibble to that to put some more carbs in there with that rice, and then we'll feed that out every other day. And then every other day we're just doing kibble. We have our big meat order coming up from the lower 48 on a truck here first week of December, so that's when we'll get all of our beef. But really an array of things. What you're really looking for is keeping them nice and thick.
Yeah.
And thick for a sled dog does not look like thick for everyone. These guys are super athletes. So picture a marathon runner. They're going to be nice and lean. Our dogs are lean and they have the healthy amount of fat. So a lot of people are like, oh, this isn't a thick dog. Yes, it is. We have one fat dog I'll show you. He probably looks like most people's couch dog. It's not even a little skinnier, but he's really fat for a sled dog. That's Lolo, who I was telling you guys about. Because he's the master thief. Lolo steals everything. Butter, bacon, bread, those are his 3 favorite food groups. So he comes to tourists to pay us back for the Costco trips. No, he likes to run here and there. He's kind of one of those old guys who's like, yeah, I'll do 3 2-mile runs today. I can hang. He's a really good leader for the puppy training. But yeah, so that's Thunder and Lightning. And we just really want them to be socialized right now. When they get older, we bring them to tours, but also to races. That's already like a high energy environment, right? I feel the pressure, the dogs feel that pressure. I don't need them being shy or adding more stress to them before a race. We've got vets. Every checkpoint at the beginning and the end of a race, vets are handling these dogs. We want them not to be like, they get full look-throughs. There's spectators, volunteers, fans, people that want to come hang out with your dogs. We want these guys to be like any other dog, well socialized. So that's what this is for Mr. Thunder and Miss Lightning. And they also just kind of beat the crap out of each other all day. They're in that phase of puppying. Lightning's kind of the baby. She's like, wait!
She'll be like screaming over here, and I come over because I think Thunder's like beating up on her, and he's not even doing anything. He's like in the house, like he's acting like, oh my god, he's hurting me! And I'm like, he's not even touching you.
Your goggles.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you guys ready to go meet the big dogs?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll have you guys slip out and we'll keep Lightning because she's the escape artist here.
Oh, escape artist.
They'll come back. They're pretty good. That's the other part of training right now is recall. And they're actually pretty good with their recall, but it's a whole other thing we have to take around. So. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, all of these dogs are extremely friendly because they were well socialized. I have one shyer guy, Houlihan, and when we meet him, we'll just be a little slower with him. The rest of them walk up, they're gonna attack you in a loving way. Yes, you're welcome to take pictures, videos, whatever you like, and please pet these guys. They deserve all the love. They're the cutest guys. So, this is Mohair. Mohair, so out of those puppies I was telling you guys that I've been training, we have a litter of 8, and they're all brothers and sisters, 8 of them. There's 3 boys and 5 girls, and they're 1 1/2. So Mohair is one of the brothers in that litter, and we brought 5 of those guys today. And then there's 2 2-year-olds in my team, so it's a 10-dog pup team, and I bring older dogs in out of the A team or some of the guys who are going lower mileage with me just to help be leaders.
Yeah.
Because other than that, I've got kind of 10 unguided missiles, and they're getting really good, and they're learning a lot. But you still need a little bit of age in there sometimes to help you out. But this is Mohair, and we do themed litters and mushing. So this litter, Virginia's a cowgirl. So she's a horse person. She loves the dogs and runs them too, but she's a cowgirl at heart, and so she named these guys after things of cowboying. And Mohair is a color?
No, a type of cinch.
A type of cinch. Yeah. This is the running joke, is that Laurel and I, the guy who owns these dogs, and Virginia's partner Laura and I can't remember what the cowboy things mean, and I start saying them, and now Virginia's calling me out. I'm like, yeah, Mohair's a color, and people are like, oh yeah, Mohair must be a color. Visalia's a color. Oh my goodness. Don't tell me what's a color. Oh.
Julia would be jealous.
Yeah, so this is Mr. Mo. He's the handsome. They're all really handsome, but Mo is the looker. He's kind of the pretty. They're a really phenomenal litter, though. He does have striking ears. Yeah. I just like his coloring. I love the dogs that have a really dark face. Like Mohair's whole body's kind of dark brown, but you see how his smell, I think that's like such a striking look. A litter, I've been running dogs for 4 years as like a handler, what I do now, basically a puppy trainer. When you first get into something like mushing, like any hobby, you're not going to go buy 20 dogs and property in a sled and feed when you don't know the head from the ass of a dog.
Yeah.
It's a pretty silly thing to start doing, so you handle like me. This is actually probably my last winter handling. I'm going to start building my own little team here in the spring. But the kennel I used to work at, my yearling team all had that face, so I think I'm partial to that face. They say there's no first love like your first dog team you really train. So I'm like, I love that dark faced dog. It reminds me of that litter, first litter I worked with. Mr. Mo! Hi! Yeah, he's just
oh my gosh, look at
this litter is kind of funny because usually your females, they're a lot quicker to mature and calm down and be smarter, just like humans, eh? Yeah. no. These boys are just like cool, calm, and collected, really good in lead, that front position, nice and mellow, and the girls are like, oh my God. So, there's Mo. This handsome gentleman is one of the two-year-old brothers in my team, Raptor.
Raptor!
So we have the brothers, Virginia Scoop and Lancer's Poop right now. That's his brother. They're 2.5 years old.
Baby.
He's the chill one, and Lancer's brother's the psycho.
Oh
Dogs
my
are like kids, you know, you get the
gosh.
introvert and the extrovert.
Yes.
Human kids.
Oh,
Raptor's
look
just
at
like,
the
I'm perfect, I'm sweet, I'm cute. His brother Lancer's gonna attack you.
Good
Two houses
boy.
down, you can see they look a lot
You're
alike.
good.
Lancer, him. But Raptor and Lancer are really special to me. So a kennel I used to work at, I was telling you guys, before I came to Laurel's this winter, I was at the same kennel for a few years, and this was the second litter I raised out there. So most of our breeding we do in-house, if you will. Hey, I really like this female, she's my best female, I'll breed her to my best male. Or you've got a really good male, hey, let's do a split breeding. But sometimes we buy dogs to get different bloodlines. They're all the same breed of Alaskan Husky, but different people have bred tighter for different things. Coats, feet, mental. So
Oh, your goggles?
I like these. So Lauro, this was a litter of 4, and this was the second litter I raised in my mushing career, and Lauro bought 2 of them last fall.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Oh
Raptor and his
my
brother
God.
Lancer, so they're real special to me. It's pretty.
He's so chill.
Yeah, no, he's amazing.
I love you.
I'd like to take credit for that, raising him, but that's just how he's always been. He's always been
You
pretty
did it.
He's like, he's a sweet, sensitive, kind of insecure young man, whereas his brother is quite the opposite.
Goodness.
I can't give it to you. I need it.
Sweet Raptor. So this litter theme where I used to live, where these guys were born, is out in Denali, and all the airspace is Air Force fighter jet training ground. So this is, we call this the Air Force litter. We named them after the fighter jet. So it's Raptor and Lancer, the 2 we have here at Laurel's, and the 2 that are still out there at home at my old kennel are Falcon and Warthog. So pretty strong
Wow,
names.
yeah.
Warthog. Warthog is like the size of this next guy we're gonna meet. He's a big boy.
Hey, what's up,
So
buddy?
this is my kind of shy guy. I'm gonna come pet him. You guys can just give him a hand and see. He wasn't like this. This just happened a week ago. I think a guest must have scared him when I wasn't
Oh,
looking.
no.
Yeah, but we're gonna work back up on it. It
Hey,
happens.
buddy. Take your time, bro.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny. He's the biggest one. And
I
he's like,
know.
oh, it's okay, buddy. Come here.
What do they do?
Land, he's
I
1.5,
hate that.
y'all. This big guy. He's Bohair's brother. Yeah, you're okay. He's sensitive. This
So
boy's
these are like purebred huskies?
Alaskan Huskies. So they're not
Alaskan
Siberian Huskies, which
Yeah.
is what you think of.
Yeah, yeah.
But they are, even though they all look very different, they're genetically uniform.
No,
So
they-
basically, they took the Siberian Husky because I was a double Raptor. Because he's like, don't leave me! Because it has a double coat. It's made for these environments. These dogs would be really hot in most
They
places.
almost look like wolves.
Yep.
Like they got that wolf face.
And that kind of shepherdy look.
Yeah.
So they basically outcross the Siberian Husky with other working breeds that are smaller because the Sibes are really slow because they're so big.
Yeah.
They're like 5-mile-an-hour dogs. I don't want to go that slow. We go slow, but not that
Yeah.
slow. And they brought in shepherds, German shepherds, Belgian Malinois, German short-haired pointers. This is a big one, greyhounds. You see a lot of pointer in the pups over there. And that's how we got a smaller dog, but we haven't outcrossed like that for like 50 years. It's just been breeding the Alaskan Husky to that.
Yeah.
So over the last half a century, they've become genetically uniform, albeit they've maintained their different looks because they're not breeding for looks. He loves me. And we'll move that to Lance. He's being shy. This is Lancer, who will not be shy. That's Raptor's brother, and he's his psychotic counterpart. Really sweet dog. Once this chaotic energy is changed with gone, he's gonna be something great.
You're so
I'm excited to
cute.
see what he does in the
Baby,
team
you're
this year. He's
cute.
becoming one of my main pup team leaders. He's still learning his directionals, but he's really good up front. He's a very spirited, strong dog. Aren't they?
Yes.
They're amazing.
When they're born, are they already able to walk on snow like that? Or do you have to get used to that?
They don't really. So it kind of depends. Like Lightning and Thunder were summer pups,
Yeah.
like late spring, early summer pups. So they weren't used to it. So actually, the first snowfall, they're probably like, woo, but it really doesn't take much. They just go outside. Yeah, and it takes a sled dog or any dog 10 days to start producing its own body heat. So if they're wintered pups, we'll keep them in or in somewhere really nice and small and insulated with mom. And then they kind of start venturing out around 2 weeks. They're starting to become older and more mature then. Body heat, their bodies can produce body heat at 10 days, yeah. Like we're producing body heat right now. and it's burning energy, but dogs aren't capable of doing that for 10 days. It's like the average science behind that.
What's on Lucy look? Yeah, little Lucy.
She's an angel. Here we have little Riata is the boy's sister, the 1.5-year-old sister. She's one of the smaller ones, but she's a really good dog. You ghosted me. You ghosted me, Riri. And Riata is... I have no idea.
It's a long
A long lariat.
A what?
A lariat, like a lasso.
Oh. Hey.
They're like,
Hey, buddy. I smell like other doggies, huh?
Maybe.
Because I pet these other ones. I smell like dogs for sure.
And over here, we have little Miss Yutu. So Yutu is my only sled dog. She's more of a quasi-sled, quasi-pet dog. She's just a big baby, but she's 7.
Oh my God,
I got
she's a
Yutu when
big
she was
baby.
3. So she's kind of my little puppy leader trainer. She runs tours, but really she just lives on the couch and stays fat. She's happy.
She's a happy one.
Yeah, she's more of a recreational dog. So when a sled dog is young, sorry baby, we like to train them for a few years, and when they're reaching their prime around 3 to 4 years old is kind of when you see maybe what that dog's potential is. Obviously with the right work, a lot of dogs can become a lot of beautiful things, but sometimes they just don't want to go that far. After 20 miles, Utes is like,
I did this already.
yeah, what is this shit? So she was part of an Iditarod kennel that our friends run down the street from us in Two Rivers, and her siblings are like Iditarod, the 1,000-mile race leaders for Shane's Iditarod team, her old mom. And Yutu's just like, harum. So Shani and Jeremy, my friends, gave her to me kind of as a, you'll rehome them young if they don't really want to be like a racing dog or an intense sled dog. Just rehome to an active home. She's still an active breed of dog. She runs her 2-mile tours. She goes on like 5-mile puppy runs with me here and there to harness break our really young pups we've got at home. And then other than that, she bike chores. I hook her up to the front of a bike and we skirt around, and that's her active, you know. She doesn't want to be a racing dog, so she doesn't have to be. And when they get older and retire, we typically keep them around home because we've been through a lot. It's nice to rehome them, have a fun, active home where they get more attention one-on-one than being a sled dog, because if they don't fully enjoy that. So Yutu's Laurel calls her a racing reject or a weekend warrior, depending on the mood he's in, and I kind of like both of them. They're kind of funny. But Yutu, she's an 80s band litter, so her siblings are Fleetwood Floyd, Doobie Station, and Journey. My favorite litter team I came across. They did a good job on that one. But I got Yutu, which is a very confusing name. It's not I would have named her Bono. That would make more sense. I was like, Yutu! She runs with Yutu! People start looking. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not yelling at you.
It's my dog.
This little girl, Gruya, she's the runt of the puppy litter. She's 1.5. And Gruya is a color of a horse. And she's kind of like the Lancer of this litter. She's kind of the psycho. Really spirited, really strong, sweet. Her size has nothing to do with her spirit. She's awesome. I think I prefer big dogs, as does Laurel. So he typically breeds for size as one of his more important factors. And I've always ran big dogs where I used to be too. I'm used to that larger breed of dog, but sometimes you get a little dog that just works its way into your heart, and that's Gruya. She's a good one. I think she's gonna. You don't always need all that power.
Oh my
Sometimes that
gosh.
little dog is like the heart and soul of your team. She's a cheerleader, so she never shuts up.
Cheerleader.
I think it's her chaotic energy, kind of like Lancer, is channeled properly through a little bit more miles and training with me. She's gonna be next level. She's one of my favorites of the litter, even though she can be one of the more frustrating and challenging ones to work with. I think she's got a lot of promise. And she's got a really nice little body, even though she's tiny. Like, that's like, we call it conformation, the way they look. Kind of like their proportions of their back, their hind legs, where they stand in their chest. And she's got a beautiful conformation. It's just shrunk down real small. Run through the last 4 here.
Good trick, buddy. Good trick.
So Ashley's a princess. She lives on Virgin Laurel's couch, kind of like you two live on their couch. She's like their Yutu almost. I feel like, except she's
ears.
she's a better leader and stuff. But she's a tortoise. Yeah, she just puts a little bit more in than you, but really good leader, docile, good to teach puppies. She's also 7 like you two. Really sweet. Yeah, she's just a total, and she's a princess. Like if you go into Virgin Laurel's house and they've been gone all day, and I walk in there, and the wood stove, we have all wood, heated by wood. The wood stove's a little low, and it feels kind of chilly. Yeah. Esther's like, excuse me, my thumbs aren't working. Can you bring in some more wood? Like this is not gonna happen. She's a human dog.
She really is pretty pitiful. Like, you know, at night once the fire dies down a little bit, instead of like sprawled out on the couch, she's curled up in her ball. It is so cold.
Those guys out there living, because our dogs live outside on their houses, right? Those guys on their houses. No. She's like a very princess. Yeah, with her color. Yeah. She's clean. That's Esther. Here's Cindy. He's also part of my yearling training group. So he's kind of he's our brains and our broad. He's actually a very beautifully strong dog, but he's the brains. So I take him out and I try to lead with 2 puppy leaders to build that confidence. But when I start taking different trails and the puppies want to take the same trail we always do, KJ goes up front to give them guidance. But I try to start them off in the back of the team to not always use a crutch. I want these puppies to be able to kind of do it on their own.
Yeah.
But when you say G, 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 which is go right, and they want to go ha, which is left, G, 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 and the puppy's like, what does that mean, Mom? We went left yesterday. You gotta bring somebody with a brain up. So he's really good teaching the puppies, and he talks a lot of smack, and he doesn't let them jerk off and be annoying. He's like, "Grr." So he puts them in their place if they're being dumb puppies. He's really good at that, but he's also Virginia's pet. I'm like, Virginia, KJ won't listen to me. She just goes, KJ, and he follows her.
Okay, I follow.
Thank you, Virgin. So he's a sweet man. And then in
I love his ear. You have a cute ear.
somebody who's not part of our kennel at Soooooooo Expeditions at Laros. She lives there, but this is my partner Miguel's dog. So Miguel came up from Argentina, from Ushuaia, the Tierra del Fuego, about a year ago with his 10 sled dogs to race in Alaska. And Luz, out of his 10, 9 of them are super race caliber. Luz is kind of like you two or Esther, where she's not really into the racing thing, but loves to run.
Yeah.
But the miles aren't for her. So Luz comes with me now for tours. Because she still hates to run, but her brothers and sisters, the rest of Miguel's dogs, they're going a little too far for Luz. So this is kind of like Utes and Esther, Luz's big outing. And she's the queen. He has 3 litters. They're all out of the same parents. And she's from the first litter, and they're 7 years old. And the other litter is 6, and then the youngest litter is 4. And she just bosses everybody around. I'm the original female here. So, Luz, she's an angel.
I love your
She's
ears,
a world
baby.
traveler, all the way from the southernmost city before. Hi, Luz. Hola. From the southernmost city of the world before Antarctica to Alaska. So, big travelers here. Luz and her team. Yeah.
Hey, Jay.
I could just see this all day.
Isn't it awesome?
I know. You guys have a cool job.
It does not work when you're hanging out with a bunch of dogs. The moment that mushing starts to feel like work for me is when I know I probably don't want to be a musher anymore, and I hope that never comes.
Oh, look at this sweetheart right here.
See, I'm different. Like me,
It's like I lead here. I was the first.
Yeah,
You're
kind of runs
beautiful, you know
everybody.
that, Luz?
His other 2 females, Alegria and
Luz, tú eres
Shima,
una
they're sisters from the
hermosa.
second litter, and she
Tú eres
comes up
una
with them. and she's
hermosa.
like,
Look at Luz.
oh yeah.
Oh my
We had a
God.
husky mixed purple. Oh my god. We were so in love with her.
I bet it was really an energetic
Like
dog.
that,
eh?
yeah.
Oh, super
Yeah,
energetic.
these kind of girls, Miguel's bloodline, they're from Norway. He lived in Norway for 2 years and he went home to Argentina with 2 dogs to breed. So that's a Norwegian bloodline, still Alaskan Huskies, but they look a little bit more like that Siberian Husky people pictured.
Yeah.
They're still the Alaskans, that mixed breed, so why her size is her size, but they're a little bit fuzzier, and she's got the pointy ears.
But her ears are longer. Like,
Are you posing for me?
like, are you posing for me, dude? I forgot where it is. Her ears, Lucy's ears. Was it with her, like hers?
Yeah. Oh, they would link. Whenever she heard a sound, it would stick up, and one of them would like Morse code the other. they like tolerate all this heat?
Yeah, so kind of what I was telling you guys when we brought, well, our mushing forefathers, I wasn't around 60 years ago doing all this breeding, but when they started doing that outcrossing, there's two reasons they brought the side in. The double coat, so the black fur on moose is like the outside of this or my jacket. It's that protective layer. It's called their guard hairs. You move it, that white hair is her undercoat. That's her woolly coat. That's why they can run anywhere from like, not can, but ideal running temps, kind of perfect storm is like 5 below to 15 below.
That's ideal for them? Below. Yeah.
Yeah, that second coat. And then the other quality that we got from Siberians is the warm feet. So unlike us, our veins don't run all the way to our extremities, our inbound and outbound, and they run apart from each other. Sled dogs' veins that go to their toes, go to the very, very tips of their toes through their nails, which is why their nails will bleed if you cut them too short, and they run side by side. So the outbound blood from the heart that's oxygenated and warm is always warming that vein that's deoxygenated coming back to the heart, meaning they don't get these cold fingertips like we do in toes.
Yeah.
So their circulation is like next level from ours. So yeah, that's why their feet are able to withstand the snow. It's also, a lot of people think we booty them in their little boots. Have y'all ever seen? We have a picture in the tent we'll show y'all. But we don't booty them because of the cold. It's actually quite the opposite. The snow conditions, when their warm paws hit it, either it's just how the snow conditions are, or when their warm paws hit like kind of a softer snow like this, it'll start to snowball in between their toes and create little cracks, like splits or fissures we call them. And that can be uncomfortable. It's not anything like, oh, you broke their toe, but like think if you had a little cut or you stub your toe and you alter your gait, 3 days later your neck hurts. So if this dog has a split and she runs a little differently because she's got a split on her foot, she's going to eventually throw out her shoulder or something, which is a serious injury. A split is not. So we booty them over anything over about 20 miles. We start bootying all feet, 4 feet. So I'm right at the point of training where I'll probably start bootying in the next couple weeks with the pups. And these Luce's team, not you, but your brothers and sisters, they're all in booties and stuff already, because that's around the time where they're running long enough where those splits can start to form, and we really are trying to avoid any kind of ailment on you.
Doggy. Doggy. Doggy.
Game for Lolo.
You see his face is like, ooh, yeah, Lolo. So Lolo's another one of the house dogs. He's not old. His 2 brothers, Buck and Frodo, are in the A-team with Laurel, running 30 miles right now on their training runs. And Lolo decided that he was retiring. So he did, by golly. He's still perfectly physically capable, maybe 10 pounds lighter, 7. But yeah, mentally Lolo's like, yep. And he likes his Taurus. He likes to help us lead and kind of be Lolo around. This is Lolo's not geriatric fitness program and his way to pay for all the food he steals.
I like the geriatric.
How old is Lolo again?
You can steal all the food you want, buddy.
Yeah, him and his.
You
So
steal
Lolo
it,
and his
okay?
brothers, they're
You
the first
take
litter
it.
Laurel ever
You
bred
take
to start
it,
his
buddy,
kennel.
okay?
He was on the river. Laurel kind of grew up in the bush out on the Yukon River, and he was on the Yukon River, and he bought Lolo for $600 and a couple cords of firewood. Off a native mushroom. 600 is a deal for a pretty female, but he had to cut a lot of firewood for it too. So it was probably more like a $2,000 dog. Her name was Annie, Lolo's mom. So Annie was kind of his original female. He had 3 litters out of her. Esther, the black one over there, is out of her too. And then Annie recently passed away, but she's got a lot of legacy in Esther, her daughter, the black one.
Yeah.
2 litters, and they're really phenomenal too. Annie's an amazing pup. So I never met Annie, but I've seen a lot of pictures, and Bird tomorrow tell me that Lolo's are sitting in his bush.
Why are you sad, baby? Why are you excited to go?
She's so funny.
She's like, love me, I'm cold.
He sits in Virgin Laurel's cabin all day, and if the dogs start barking at something, usually one of us, if we're not there at night, you go out and check, because you don't know, there could be a loose dog or a lot of things happen. So you go check, turn your headlamp on. Well, if you're out working in the yard and the dogs start barking, Lolo, he opens Virgin Laurel's cabin door towards himself. He can stick his nail in and open it, and he sticks his head out. Why are you dogs barking? And they stop. Okay. He's the smartest dog I've ever met. I'm not kidding. This is the most resourceful and genius dog I've ever met. He's just a lazy butter eater too. But you're really,
You want some
really
butter,
smart.
buddy?
But guys, we are gonna go ahead and start hooking up,
let's
so
do
you
it.
2 can go up to Virginia sled with her.
All right. Baby, and if you need to move it a little more forward so you can hold it better, come do it, okay?
Whoa, shit. ¡Qué drama! They love it.
Put your gator on.
I did. I'm like, there's a lot of weight for us.
Yeah. Good dogs. Up, up. Yeah. So we call this weight training for our dogs.
Oh, okay.
Because usually we're not, we got more dogs on the line. and we're pulling less weight. So we like to use this to weight train for our dogs.
Oh, okay.
And I still have the brakes on.
Oh, wow.
So going up that hill, I helped them out a little bit, but going down this road, it's nice, easy pulling. So I put the brakes on because I really want them at a nice trot. I don't want them to expend too much energy.
They love it.